EMSradio.com.
EMS information for the next generation.
The EMS Garage is a production of EMSradio.com. You can find us on Facebook, just search EMS Garage. You can find us on Twitter at EMS Garage. Email us, emsgarage@gmail.com, or call us, 303-720-6001.
The EMS Garage.
Checking out right now. Okay, I got DG on the phone there. Want to know if you can handle that call as well. Just confirming you are checking the patient. Salmonic 22 is on scene.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the EMS Garage / EMS World podcast. We're coming to you from the EMS World Expo 2018 from Nashville. I'm Chris Montero, your host, and joining me today is Carl. And we're going to talk about career development in EMS, correct?
We are. Thanks for having me.
Yes. So tell me a little bit about yourself. Where do you work now? Obviously Harvard, but
yes.
I know, I was trying to get a free degree, but that's probably not going to happen.
We're going to work on it. I'm an emergency manager at Harvard University. I've been there about a year and a half.
Okay.
And that was a hard pivot for me away from international rescue and response.
So, that sounds like a cool job. Mm-hmm. Okay, so tell me, what was that job?
So I was a team leader for a private international rescue and security company based out of Boston.
Okay.
I was there for 3.5 years.
Wow.
And was fortunate enough to get to see a lot of the world, as well as affect some good patient outcomes for folks in some more remote areas.
So did you guys travel? Did you take patients, or what did you do? That sounds
cool. Direct patient care was a huge part of the role, but also the logistics and admin side of having an operating team, anywhere between 4 and 8 people.
Wow.
That my particular team got to oversee. It just sort of depended on what the mission profile looked like.
Sure.
But it was a lot of fun.
Cool. So tell me, what do you have to emergency manage at Harvard? It seems like, a couple parties, maybe a kegger. No, I don't know.
There are keggers and also a lot of kids.
Maybe that's only Yale.
We won't get into Yale.
Yeah,
we won't get into Yale. Definitely a lot of kids tearing it up at the library at Harvard.
Yeah.
But my role is very heavy on the planning side.
Okay.
I actually help run the exercise program for all of the academic campuses at the university, as well as all of the protocol development for the individual schools and departments, so that we're as ready as we can be. If I could put more weight into a particular side of it, I think exercising on the balance of it is more important than some of the planning.
Sure.
But we like to have really tight plans as well.
So tell me about career development. What makes you so passionate about it?
There's so much to do in EMS. My background was very heavily operational. I was obviously a critical care practitioner while I was at Global Rescue. My background was field EMS. I started in upstate New York at Syracuse University. Worked for a couple of years at Rural Metro.
Cool.
I went back home to DC and was a line officer in Montgomery County Fire Rescue at Rescue 1 as a volunteer. And so I've seen very many different elements to this particular career field.
Right.
Spent a lot of time in communications, which a lot of operations folks don't get into.
Right.
But if you have a passion for that, I highly recommend it, especially if you have any kind of technical or IT background.
Right.
I think communications is a great in for those folks who are so inclined. But you can do almost anything.
Right.
And I try very hard to inspire and push people towards whatever is their interest.
That's cool.
There's a way to grab some of that inside of EMS.
I don't have to sit in the front of a truck forever.
You can if you want to.
Right.
There's nothing wrong.
I agree. We need providers, don't get me wrong.
Put 30 years on the truck, put 30 years on the engine, whatever you want to do, go fish afterwards. I think that's awesome.
Right.
But if you have a particular passion, there's a space for that inside of EMS.
Do you think, as you've looked at career development, is it important for degrees? I mean, is it something, if you want to advance, we were just talking about this right before, having your master's, things like that, that we're both, you just did, I'm working on.
Don't do it, it's a trap.
Oh,
I do not
agree.
recommend going to grad
Oh my gosh,
school.
it's so hard.
That was a nightmare.
Well, but at least an undergrad degree, or some sort of even, I would even advocate that paramedics should have their associates as a starting base. How do we, the things you're talking about, do you think we need advanced degrees or have a different type of degree for that?
I think there's, and I know that this is such a hot button topic right now, there is an element of legitimacy that comes with a degree,
Right.
or some kind of academic component to what we're doing. I think that there have been so many advancements, especially on the ALS and critical care side, that yes, education is important. You need to be able to justify academically the work that you're doing in the field.
Right.
Do I think that every provider needs even an associate's or a bachelor's or a master's? No. There's room for everybody at the table,
Right.
and I think that part of the conversation gets lost. But education is incredibly important. If you have any interest in advancement or career development into a specialty, then you're going to have to go to school. You're going to have to do whatever the licensure requirements are.
Right.
So keep yourself open to it. But to get started, it's just getting started. And, I started before I had my bachelor's. I was a volunteer while I was in college.
Cool.
And that even is a hurdle for some individuals.
Right.
But just start from wherever you are. Just put that one foot in front of the other one.
Right.
And there's a pathway for you if you want there to be.
Well, and there's some tenacity to that as well, right? You
Absolutely.
have to, if you're in college, that you and it can be slow. Nobody says you have to do it all at once. It took me forever to get my bachelor's, but it just, you do it. There's nobody that says you have to leave high school and go to college, and even though that's kind of the dream or whatever, I don't think that's the reality, especially if you follow your passion for this field.
Absolutely.
I mean, oh my gosh, I want to be a paramedic. I love that.
It took me years to get my medic card. It took me years after that to go pursue my critical care license.
Right.
I had 3 false starts at a graduate degree before my last one finally
Right.
stuck. And so there's always room.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with starting over.
No.
Do it again. I know.
Do
I
it
love
again.
I love
It's
it.
okay.
So you said earlier too that what was your favorite career? You said you've already been there and done that. What was your favorite thing?
My favorite
job
career
in your
role,
career,
job
right?
role, was actually my first role in EMS at Syracuse University.
Cool.
It was after I'd graduated. They brought me back to be the communications center supervisor
Cool.
for the EMS side. And I loved that. I love higher education. Obviously, I came back to it full circle, which has been wonderful for me. But serving the population in upstate New York, I'm not from upstate New York, I'm from DC, but I had such a good time up there.
Cool.
And those are such bright young adults and such a wonderful university community. I had a really great time up there.
That's cool.
Everything
That's
on top of that has just been gravy.
Right. Right.
So.
Oh, that's awesome. So, what do you see as the next things? So I agree with you that we have all these cool things we can be doing in EMS. Not only, I think research is, I think a lot of that's been brought to light here. And I really love that EMS World has started working on the research component of that. As we move forward with research, how do we advance our professions so that we can get to that research arm, if you will?
I think that for a long time we were just doing things in this industry because we had been doing them, and that was what people knew.
Right.
I think it's so important now that we're able to justify the care that we're providing, and not just for ourselves, but so that the public can continue to have faith in us as providers.
Good point.
I think that everything hinges on that. If we can't definitively demonstrate why we are applying a therapy or a care modality, nothing else matters. So really embracing research as an integral part
Nice.
of what we're doing at all levels, not just field care, but in communications, in logistics and purchasing, in HR, making sure that we are adhering or adopting some kind of best practice that is rooted in actual research, actual data collection. And there's no reason not to. If we want to be, if we want to continue to be seen as trust agents, as folks that people can look to as the genuine article, then we need to be able to demonstrate that.
I love that not only idea, but that we are. I mean, we're trusted. I often say this even to my staff. We are two of the last healthcare people that you get to. Anybody invites you into the home anytime, and you have to be on your game when that happens.
Absolutely.
And I think the only way to do that is by exactly what you said. So that's awesome. So, Carl, where can people find out, get a hold of you, contact you if they want to learn more about career paths in EMS?
Absolutely. I'm on Facebook and LinkedIn. I'm the only Carl Cowan at Harvard University.
Cool.
So please feel free to search my name. You can also find me on Twitter at CACOWAN, at Cowan.
Cool.
Give me a call, shoot me a note, send me a tweet, and I'd be happy to talk with you more. I have very broad interests inside of EMS still, so I'd be happy to speak to anybody.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Carl. Oh, you're awesome. Very engaging. I love it. And I'm Chris Montero here at EMS World Expo 2018 in Nashville with the EMS Garage, EMS World Mashup podcast that we're doing. This has been a lot of fun. Join us right here on this channel for more content coming up soon.